Welcome to the Running Network Show. Join us each time as we explore the people, the places, and the events that shape our great sport.
Elite runners that they assemble every year, Patrick Lynch and Mary Kay Chase.
And so to have a husband and a father in Scott has helped us to do that. So to share this 30th anniversary moment with them is very special, and Andrew brother will show up at some point. He's up at the 25th anniversary of Reggae Weekend.
There is perspective in the world. Greg, you're not alone either this year. What's going on with you?
I've got all three of my kids here, Nikki, Jay, and Danny, and 5 years ago, Nikki and Jay ran with me. This year, it's Danny and Jay. It will be interesting, and Joni's got aspirations of running fast. We have aspirations of finishing by dinner, correct? That's our goal, and I think we'll achieve it because we like to eat.
Joni, just lately, what are the things that you have been up to other than, let's say, electing a senator from the state of Maine?
You name it, I've been there. Life is about balance, and it's the mind, body, spirit triad that we so desperately try to keep in order, and I just try to balance my life in ways that keep me moving forward.
And a great many other people as well. Greg, for you on Mondays, you go out there and run. Well, why don't you hook up with these folks?
She's too fast. You know, you've run with her before. Yeah. Everybody loves Joni because they see her as a sweet person. The gun goes off, she's mean. I've been lucky this year because I've been the coach of the John Hancock employee team. And I got to tell you, they're the ones that got me here because I got to come and do my long runs with them. I might have been lazy in Michigan, but when you show up and have to train with somebody, it made a big difference. So I'll be out there with part of the John Hancock team running this year, and it really was a help. It was a motivation to get me going again. So it's been good.
Good. Well, folks, it is real good to have you back here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Those spectacles are required. John, looking back to 1973, when some of us were right, what do you remember the most from that?
Wow. I was a long way from home, and it was my second road race, and I was homesick. But I went up to the top of the crew and plotted out the places to run, and I ran along the Charles River and started meeting runners all along the way and made a lot of friends. And I remember the girls screaming at Wellesley a lot. I remember it was hot, but I was from California. That was okay by me. What I wish I hadn't done was wear those terry cloth shorts. Because it was Patriots Day and I wanted to look patriotic. So I looked in my closet. I had red, white, and blue stripes and stars on the t-shirt and these blue checkered shorts that held every drop of water that everybody poured or sprayed on us. And I was wringing it out like a towel, which the water went down into my wool socks in my shoes because I approached this marathon like my backpacking days. I used to run to stay in shape for backpacking. And I wore the 2 pairs of socks to avoid blisters and my heaviest training shoes. So I remember swish washing up Heartbreak Hill, wringing out my shorts and my wool socks going swish washing. But what a joyous thing to hear from the crowd, the first woman, the first woman. First I heard, the first woman is ahead, but the trackster in me, because I used to be a 1,500 meter runner before I became a marathoner, and the trackster in me knew to pass her, as I told all my athletes I coach, pass decisively. Don't tempt them to go with you, pass decisively. So I did that, and then I heard first woman, first woman. And what a thrill it was, what a thrill it was. Joni tells a story about coming out of the tunnel in the Coliseum, the first Olympic marathon champion. And I kind of had a similar thought, because you know what, I didn't know it at the time, but that race changed my life. I was no longer a miler, I was a marathoner, and it launched my career. Thank you very much.
The sport was the better for it. And I don't think any of us could have written that any better than it just rolled out together with the Tom Wolfe Swish Slosh. Very, very nice indeed. And Jacki, what have you done in these few intervening years?
We don't have long enough today. But I have written a book. I'll just go ahead and shamelessly plug that.
The title, which is?
It'll be The Long Time Coming. A long time coming, running through the women's marathon revolution. So, yes, long time. It'll be out on May 1st, and it will tell the story from my beginning of running to the 1984 Olympics, and along the way becoming president of the International Runners Committee to make sure that Joni had a marathon to run in '84, and that other women would have 5 and 10,000. It took a lot of lobbying and ultimately a lawsuit to get all the events in the Olympic Games so that women would have an opportunity. And my Olympics was Joni staying with me in Los Angeles, and if I didn't get to chase that medal, at least I got to hold it. And I got a big thank you from Joni, and that was my reward.
And that was a story I hope you would tell. I didn't want to try.
No, it's all in the
Made the
book.
sport different.
But you're right, you did say I'm a coach, and I brought 3 of my athletes with me today. I have Jeannie Garcia, take a wave, and Deborah Hafford. Jeannie's taking pictures. Deborah Hafford, who's really upset that Joni's in her age division. And Charlie Gardner, give a wave, former thrower, turned sub-3-hour marathoner on his first try and qualified for Boston. They all 3 wanted to be here to celebrate with me today.
Over you're here and that they're here.
Thank you so much.
Andy, it's been a while. 68. Some of us were still in college in those days. Most of us were never born, right? But going back just in a broad sort of sweep of history, you did that, now you're here. What was the effect of that run, that day, on you?
Tom, I'd first like to say, give a couple of formal announcements to my great friends, the 83 winners. I just wanted to say to them, I sneezed at 30 years. Wait till you see what's down the road for you. Greg, in 15 years, you'll be lucky to make Tuesday breakfast. Tom, this sport has been incredibly good to me. I just cannot believe my great good fortune to have spent as many years in the sport as I have. This part of the Boston weekend is always my favorite because it reminds me of the incredible quality of the people in our sport, whether it's the former champions, or the BAA board members, or the BAA staff, or the volunteers. You guys are all people I'd like to take home with me and put on my neighborhood so I can visit with you every day.
Here.
I'm sorry I can't do that, but I feel so incredibly fortunate to be back. I'm not a religious or spiritual person by nature, but I've realized in recent years, particularly this year, that I need a mantra, and mine now is every mile is a gift. And I'm going to be thinking that all day Monday out on that course. I'll have lots of time to think about all the gifts on Monday, and it's always a great gift to be back here with this group.
Are you running by yourself, or will you be with some others?
I have a small, undistinguished group of friends and family, and we're going to run at an undistinguished pace. We're hoping for 4.5 hours, but we are really, really looking forward to it, being together. And I have a very large and distinguished cheerleading section of friends and family also, so I'm very happy they're here with me.
John, any advice for Andy as he runs, other than no terry cloth shorts?
Yeah, drink water. I forgot to do that. But don't let them pour it on your terry cloth shirts.
Jacqueline, Andy, thank you very much for being here.